Welcome to the second part of Lesson 1, Constructing our Trading Charts. By the time you finish this, your charts, platform, and indicators will be all ready to use. Here's where we left off on our first video. So what we'll do here is come up to this icon and click on it here. This will create a full-size chart that we'll be trading with. And the first thing we want to do is put in some price lines, which we call latitude lines. After we have the first line in place, we'll color it blue and then duplicate it. Now that we have our price lines in place, let's start making some indicators. We'll start with our two moving averages, called EMAs. Next we come down and select 20 for the 20 bar EMA. Click on the plus and come up and color it green. We do the same thing again, only this time we'll make it a 30 bar EMA. And this one we'll color red. Next we'll create our stochastic indicator. We'll click on here and select slow stochastics. Change this number here to 8 and click on the plus. The next thing we'll do is give it some horizontal lines or parameters. We click on here, select a horizontal line, bring it down to right about the 80 level here. Duplicate it and create another line down here at the 20 level. Then we'll duplicate it again and place this line at the 50 level and color it green. The next thing we want to do is get rid of that erratic line there. It's too confusing for us. So we try to click on it and change the color to black. If it doesn't work at one spot, try it over here. Click on black. I call this my trading line. Now we want to duplicate this chart and change the time frame to 5 minutes. Then we'll do it again and select a 15-minute time frame. Now let's go back to our 1-minute chart again and change the candlesticks to the Heiken-Aschie type. Once again, we'll make the candles a little wider and change their color. All of these indicators and candlesticks can be found described in the report at the end of the lesson. Now let's put some moving averages on this chart. The first one is right here. It's an EMA and we'll give it a 3 and then come up and change the color to yellow. It's a little hard to see right now because it's red. Next we'll do it again and this time use an SMA. Give it a number of 18. Then we'll come up and change the color to cyan, so we won't get confused. Here we can even see how this indicator works. It shot up through the 18-bar moving average. Down here it bounced off of it here, continued higher until it broke through right there. Next we'll create our MACD bars. We call them MACD bars. We'll leave the numbers the same down here and click on the plus. Once again, I click on the line that's erratic or jumpy. Come down and change the signal line color to yellow. Do the same thing again and change this MACD line to black. Now we have a smooth signal line, which I like to call a roller coaster line. We can expand or contract this indicator by pulling the line here. Finally, we need to check these two boxes so our trade will be displayed on the chart. Now we can come up here and copy this chart and change it to a 5-minute chart. Then we can do it one more time and create a 15-minute chart. You'll notice each time we do this, the indicators and the price lines, the latitude lines, look different on the chart. So we may need to alter the latitude lines depending on the time frame we're using. The next thing we want to do is change the size of the window. We do that by clicking on this icon, grasping the edge of the chart, moving it about halfway over. You may have to adjust it a little bit, but what we're trying to do is set up our two different charts on the same screen for each time frame. Right here, I'm going to adjust the candlestick chart and put it on the right side. That way I can watch both charts at the same time for each time frame. This probably looks complicated to you right now simply because we're doing a video, but when you do it in actual practice, it's a real help for your trading. Now I want to show you how I draw trend lines. First I expand the chart here, then come up and select trend lines. Then I bring my cursor down to the low point where I want to start, hold down the mouse and drag the line up to the high right here. You'll notice I move my cursor over to where I'm splitting the candlestick. connecting the highs and lows like we're doing here are very helpful when we're creating or using the AVG program, which will be on our next lesson. I always use the Heikin-Ashi chart when I'm doing this. One last thing we need to do is go back into the platform and save our charts right here. If we don't do that, we'll lose all the hard work we've been doing when we exit the program. Now I want to show you some keyboard shortcuts that I use when I'm trading. I mostly use the F2, 3, 4, and 5 buttons. I even have little post-it notes on them so I don't make a mistake. For example, if I press the F4 button, a buy window pops up. You can see all the default numbers are in there, 2,000 units, and down here, take profit of 6 pips and a stop loss of 9 pips. That finishes this video. On our next lesson, we'll be reviewing all about the AVG strategy.